People love ranking anime like everything has to be a masterpiece. If it's not like Attack on Titan, Fullmetal Alchemist, or Hunter x Hunter, then suddenly it's mid or overrated. But sometimes the anime doesn't need to change your life. Sometimes it just needs to be fun, and that's exactly where Fire Force sits for me. Fire Force actually has a pretty unique setup compared to most shonen. Instead of following the usual grid trains to become the strongest formula, we get the world where humans can suddenly combust at any moment, turning into violent flame monsters called Infernals. That alone already gives the series a different identity. It's not just about fighting stronger enemies, it's about survival in a world where death can happen instantly and randomly. And that's something I think people overlook when they talk about this series. It's not trying to copy the typical shonen formula, it's building its own version of it. Now, I've been following the manga since the beginning, so when the anime was announced, I actually was kind of intrigued. And honestly, the adaptation delivered. The pacing for me was never a major issue. It moves quickly, yes, but that actually fits the energy of the show most of the time. The world building is introduced in a way that slowly pulls you in and instead of overwhelming you immediately. And the characters, especially Company 8, start off simple, but over time you actually get attached to them. Shinra, Arthur, Maki, even the supporting cast, they all start to feel like a real team instead of just side characters existing for fights. And that matters because Fire Force is very much a team-based shonen. But let's be real, the biggest reason people even stay for this anime is the action, and this is where Fire Force really shines. The fight scenes are easily the main selling point. The animation from David Production is clean, vibrant, and full of energy. Every ignition, effect, explosion, and impact feels stylized in a way that makes fights visually memorable. But it's not just the animation, the sound design is insane. Every punch and flame burst has weight behind it, and the OST just amplifies the hype even further. There are moments where you're not even thinking about the story, you're just locked into the fight because it looks and sounds that good. And Shinra specifically is one of those protagonists who just feels fun to watch fight. His speed-based combat style makes every encounter feel fast and unpredictable. Now, I'd be lying if I said Fire Force doesn't have any flaws, because it definitely does. The biggest talking point is obviously the fan service, especially around Tamaki. And look, I understand both sides of the argument. Some people don't care at all, some people find it distracting, and some people find it straight up can't take this show seriously because of it. Personally, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think it ruins the show, but I do think there are moments where it feels forced or interrupts tension, especially during fights. There's even one moment that a lot of fans bring up where serious fights get undercut by a comedic fan service, and yeah, I can see why it bothers people. Then there's pacing and directing quirks too. Sometimes the show lingers on shots or pauses after dialogue a bit longer than necessary. It's not a deal breaker, but once you notice it, it's hard to unsee. But even with all that said, it doesn't break the experience for me. I think a big reason Fire Force gets judged harshly is because of expectations. People expect every anime to be deep, emotional, perfectly written, and constantly mind-blowing. But most anime don't operate on that level, and Fire Force never really tries to either. And if you actually give it time, the story does start connecting its dots in a pretty satisfying way. The problem is, people often judge it too early or expect it to be something it's not. So after everything, where do I land on Fire Force? It's not perfect, not even close, but it is visually stunning, consistently entertaining, backed by great sound design, and built on genuinely interesting concept. And sometimes that's enough. Not every anime needs to reinvent the genre to be worth watching. Fire Force is just fun. And in a medium where everything is consistently being compared to the greatest anime of all time, I think that matters more than people admit. Now, if you drop Fire Force early or avoid it because of what people said online, it might be worth revisiting with different expectations. And with Season 3 wrapping up not too long ago, Fire Force finally feels like a complete story. Looking at it as a whole now, it's easier to appreciate what it has been building toward from the very beginning. If you did stumble across this video, consider subscribing. I might make more anime content just like this, or even more. Either way, thanks for watching. Peace.